does help if you unmute the microphone, doesn't it? What's the sound all right now, yeah? Sound good? Should be sound now, mate. Should be all sound as a pound. Can you see all right? Or is that too bright? We'll go down one notch on the brightness level. So while I've been away, no audio, really? Should be. Should be audio. Let me just check. Now, mate. Yeah. Bit of echo. There's audio. Should be. Yes. Got sound. Wait for everything to catch up. A little bit of a delay. It's always hard to get used to that little delay, isn't it? So I'll move my mouse now. Have you got sound now? There, we can hear you now. Just an echo now. It's got an echo. Yeah, the echo will go now. Let me know when the echo's gone. The echo is because I had it on my phone. Because I turned the sound. Sound good now? Sound excellent. Excellent. It's just because I was checking the sound because everyone was saying there was no sound, so I put the my phone on to Squirrel McDoodles. Right, so while I've been away, what I've done is I've glued the sled in, and I've also connected these two contacts together, which has a cable which goes to the positive pin of the 510, because this is an N-channel MOSFET, which means it will switch the negative rather than a positively switching. If it's a positively switching a PFET, then you wire it the opposite way around. So we've got negative going to the FET, negative from the FET going up to the 510 negative, positive from the positive pin of the 510 going to the two positives on the top, and then negatives on the bottom to that. And then we've just got one lead here, which is going to be the fire wire. So yeah, that will be connected to a safety slide switch, and then from the slide switch to the push button here. Then from that push button it connects to the positive, and it's pretty much done. But I've epoxied and super glued this in, the sled in, just to save time because it's easier, and soldered this in because it's a bit of a git to do and it has a tendency of being a twat. So I've done that. So all we've got to do is we've got to connect this bad boy here, which is the negative. God, it's really bright, isn't it? Turn the brightness down a bit. Is that better? That's a bit better, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, so as you can see, there's all the bits that inside, nice and clean, nice and neat, which is just the way we want it. And then once this is done, this can go out next week to its new customer, next week or so. So what we need to do now is we just need to shape this bit here a little bit to make it stick out a bit, so it gives us clearance when it's glued in there. So let's get that fed under there first. Use a pair of tweezers just to shape it round. So excuse me, I'm using my phone this time because the iPad was a pain in the ass. It kept going off, like this one's going off. Alright, mate, lover. Alright, mate. So I'm going to pull this up through here. And that's going to sit down there, roughly about like that. So we're going to have to fire the soldering iron up in a sec so we can solder that onto there. So we'll fire the soldering iron up. You don't need to use a really good soldering iron, but it is handy having a temperature controlled one because you need that extra little bit of off. Hey Puds, how's it doing, bud? We're going to mix up some epoxy in a minute as well. Once I've done this and completed this, I'm going to glue the magnets in. I know it's boring, but hey, we'll do that because doing the magnets is a pain in the arse. I'll tell you that now. So yeah, that's all glued in. Basically, bit of super glue dabbed here, bit of epoxy dabbed here, and then just hold it down till the super glue takes, and then the epoxy will cure at the same time. I've got a little couple of clamps that I clamp on between there and there like that. But there, so we've got to get that 510 connection on. Clean that wire up a bit because it's gone a bit floofy. Don't want it floofed. Want it nice and neat so it sits neatly. As you can see, the wiring's nice and neat. I decided to lift this and move this across a bit more. Normally I put it over that way a bit further, but I quite like it like that. It's a little bit neater. That's the thing, every time I'm doing one of these, I'm evolving it slightly the way I wire it, so no two will be the same, you know. So yeah, it's one of them. Hopefully the audio is still good. I'm not watching the stream obviously because I don't want the echo on there. So first things first, let's get that heated up. Now you will need quite a hot iron for this because the body acts as a bit of a heat sink. So it's always a good idea to have a really hot iron. So I've knocked mine up to 450 degrees. It's normally on about 330. So we're at 450 now because it's a little bit easier to solder, because basically what happens is the solder just takes it away, just takes the thing away. So there we go. So we'll get this soldered in now. And if you can, let's try and get it into a spot where you can see what I'm doing. That should solder onto there nicely. And like I say, that's the only problem with this, is basically the mod acts like a heatsink, the box. So you have to get shitloads of solder in there, and you have to get it red hot before it does anything. Just push the soldering iron up against it, and it should take the solder then, which it has done. Make sure it looks like a nice joint. You don't want a shitty looking joint. But you don't want a great big blob of solder either, so what I tend to do is just stick it up that way up, melt all that down so it sits nicely, and let gravity take it then. The squeaking's there, that's squeaking means moving the soldering iron so it takes the solder. Go. You have to give it a bit of a wiggle when you're doing this job, because otherwise it just doesn't take at all. You'll have to excuse me if I'm not listening very much, but I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm doing. Enough solder so you get a good, nice, good connection on there. Not happy with that. It's not quite right, that. Let's go full chat on fucking power, shall we? There we go, full chat now. That should do. Also, having a wide tip can help as well. Such a git doing this bit, it takes a little bit of time. Like I say, I like it to look nice and neat. Might actually change the tip on the soldering iron a bit and redo that, because I'm not happy, 100% happy with it. But it's got a good solder joint on it, and that's all we want. Turn that back down again to 390. Right, a little lucky here. See what we've got to work with. Is the chat still working, or is it fucking squiffed up? Live chat, live chat. There we go. I'm on live chat now. So, yeah, that's done. That's dusted. Not very pretty, but it's perfectly acceptable. It's on there. That's the main thing. Right, I need some thin wire now. Where look at me thin wire? Oh, I've lost it. So we need some thin wire now. I've put it down somewhere. The bloody cats keep knocking stuff off as well, which doesn't help. They come along and put stuff safe. Where the fucking hell have I put it? That's there. Right, we've got this stuff now. So we're going to need a little bit of this to go from. This needs to connect to. We're still working? Oh, sound as a pound. Put it down somewhere. There we go. So we're going to need a thin piece of wire now, because we've got to go from the bottom terminal of the switch to. So we'll tin the end of that. Tinned. Turn it down a bit, it's a bit fucking too ragey. That 300's fine for this, for tinning. You don't want it too hot on these switches. We'll tin the switch. like so. A little bit on there, that's nice. And then what we'll do then is we'll cheat a bit, because what we're going to do now is we're going to roughly see how much, because it only has to go from there to there, to that first contact. So we're going to roughly see how long a bit of wire we need. You'll like this, this is a nice little trick, this is. And then we're going to put that there, and we're going to snip that about there. And if we pull it back, like so, see what I've done there? Like that. And what we can do is we can solder that as well. Bit of solder on there to tin that ready. Do the same with the end. And then we can use this piece of wire that's long to hold it where exactly we want it to go. So we're going to go like so, in there, like that. A bit further than that in, there we go. And then that piece there can just get shoved in there, like so. See what I've done there? You get that nice and hot again because it needs a bit more heat again. Is everyone still there? The chat's gone squiffy, hang on. Let me see if the see if I'll watch something else.
Is he dead?
Needs a bit more heat again. It's on live chat. Now it's taken, there we go. Oh, that's taken. It's on. It's on there. Then what we can do, this piece of wire now we can cut off. Like so, see? So that's got a nice little neat wire into there, look. See how neat that is? It's nice and neat into there and soldered on. Which is all you need. Blow the excess out. Right, now comes the fiddly bit. This is where it gets fiddly. Ah, nobody's chatting. Well, chat, so I know you're still there, because he's trying to concentrate on this. Like, you know what I mean? Got a bit of drink left? Yeah. Other fucking Bohemian Drax's drinks are available. So, oops, we've got wire to there. So now we need to get this bad boy done. Right, so to do this bad boy, I'll turn it right down again because it doesn't need to be hot for this. Not mega hot anyway. We need to tuck this underneath all this lot. So we're going to run it underneath there, like this. I can get hold of it. Let me bug it. There we are. It's going to go underneath there. Neatly like that. I like to do it behind because that way it keeps the wire nice and neat and it's out of the way, you know. We do it this way. Bit of twist. There we are. Right. So we know that we need the wire roughly about, well, where should we go to? We'll go to about, ow, fingers. Go to about there. Like that. Strip that off. So it takes me a lot less time than this to normally do one, but I'm trying to do it slow for you guys so you can see what's going on. You know, it takes a bit more gumption when you try to show people what you're doing. Snip a bit of that off because you don't need much on there. We're going to find where. See, the problem with these little switches, they're very small. That side, might be that way. We'll have a little bit of, we'll put a little bit of tinning on there now. We'll tin the connectors on there. Like that. And that is going to go like You can see that. Can you see that all right, guys? See what I'm doing? I'm trying to look at what I'm doing rather than the camera, otherwise I'll be fucking like making a mess. Drop more solder on the end of that. So I can drop, because what will happen is the solder will flow then, you see. There you go, that's done. Sure both sides have got solder on, which they have. I'm going to need a short piece from there as well. Pardon me. And that's going to go to be right. Now what we've got, now we've done that, we can glue the MOSFET in now. So now that's done, pull that through there like that, nice and neatly like that. Give me you stupid thing. This is a bit fiddly, I apologise if you can't see what I'm up to, but it's just the way it goes. Right, so we want a little blob of super glue on there, little dab on the back of it, get juice to flow. Go, little blob, you only need a little bit, you don't need a lot. Wipe the excess off, a pair of tweezers or a little something or other, whatever you've got to hand, it doesn't really matter. And then we shall pop that on there like so. Now somewhere I've got, if I can find it, a little, but what you've got to try and do is try and get that wire underneath it, because you don't want that pulling the MOSFET, you know. So you want that on top of the MOSFET. Whoop. There we go. Have that like that. There we are. That's underneath it, isn't it? It's underneath the FET, isn't it? Yep, like that. There we are. You can pull the excess through then afterwards, you see. Get that in roughly where it's going to be, and then we get a piece of foam, which I've got here. Foam goes on the outside of the mod, so it protects it. And then what we do is we lift this up a bit, just a smidge, like that. Do it there, like that, and then we put that there, like that, and then we put our clip on, like that, which holds that roughly where you want it to be. There we go, and then that can squeeze that onto there and hold that till it goes gooey then. So once that's done, and then we can pull that through and we can glue that on. So just have to wait for a couple of seconds. Just turn the soldering iron off and this, otherwise it's going to burn it out, isn't it? Get that stuck in there, and then we'll do the same with the switch then, once that's glued in, which shouldn't take long, and takes a minute or two. And then it's done really, pretty much. All we've got to do now is put the magnets in. Once we've done that wire and that switch, put the magnets in, put the battery stickers on, which is a good point because I don't actually know where they are. Pardon me. Is that stuck? No, it hasn't quite stuck. Wasn't enough juice on it, I don't think. A bit of off-cut wire here. Use that to spread it about a bit. There we go. Yeah, the birds, silly little buggers they are. Funny little suckers. Leave that there for a minute. Normally what I do is I put a stick or something down there, you know, to wedge it in. It's all good, Jules. As long as I know you're there, that's the main thing. Sound alright? Is the picture okay? See what I'm doing alright, yeah? Right, that should be stuck now. Right, stuckish. Not quite stuck yet, I haven't gone off yet. And then we're going to be sticking that in a minute as well. At some point. Just got to wait for that to go off. Need some. Where's my fucking cocktail sticks? My cocktail sticks. There. What I do is I put these in normally, you see, like that. There we are. Put the cocktail sticks in, it holds it a little bit better, you see, with the sticks in. Try not to scratch the outside of the mod, that's the most important thing. There we are. That should stick nicely now. So while that's doing that, we'll have a little chat, shall we? Yeah, it's a nice looking bit of kit in it. It's got some scratches and shit on it from stuff, but it'll be polished afterwards anyway. Need to get a better mat. You know, I need a new build mat. As long as it functions for now, that's all I'm worried about. Wait for that, little bit of nibbles. Some peachy rings for the win. Just gives you an insight into what it takes to make a mod. I mean, you can bodge one together, but it's got to be right. It's got to be done right. Yummy. Oh my god, that's stuck. So like I say, we're going to now pull this through and find out where we want this to sit. But I'm going to pull the wire out a little bit in the bottom because the wire is actually stopping it. So if we bend that a little bit, like that, so you've got a bit more room now just by tweaking that wire at the bottom. Because it's in, it's actually shaped. So we're going to go from that now. And we're going to work out roughly what we need for wire length. I reckon we're going to be about that much. So if we cut that there, about there, and we give it a little bit of a cut it a little bit shorter, and then just tweak the end. Turn the soldering iron back on to warm up. What we'll do is we'll tin that now. Soldering line up a bit. bit while we do this. Right, now what we're going to do, we'll put a little blob of super glue on the side of the switch now. It's very important when you do this, you only put a little tiny bit in, because the switch is a little bit thingy. What happens is when you squidge it, it can have a tendency of putting the glue inside the switch, if that makes sense. So the glue will go inside the switch, which leaves you in a right fucking mess, it does. So we're going to glue this in now, about there. Let's just tweak it to make sure it's straight. And then we'll put those sticks that we used before in to hold the switch in place. And I like to do it quite, straight, so it's, in a straightish manner, like against, so it's straight, otherwise it looks stupid. And also, so up for on and down for off. Yeah, that's straight, that looks good. Like I say, you don't want to put too much on, because like I say, as you do it, it's going to be a bit messy otherwise. So while we're doing that, we'll just shape this bit of wire so it's got a bit of an angle on it. So what happens is it goes in and then goes down, if that makes sense. Yeah. Let's see if chat's still on. There we go. While that's doing that, we'll give that a bit of a clean. Put a little bit more solder on there, just a touch. And we'll bring this down. There we go. So that nice and neatly there, look, see? If anything, it can go in a little tiny bit maybe. There we go. Neater the better. Now, switch is in. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, see? That's all in there nice and neat like that. So we'll go and get some stuff now. Fuck me, that's got some scratches on it. I'll buff them out anyway. That's the only problem with these boxes. They do come with quite a bit of fluff on them and stuff. Right, where is the battery stickers? Battery stickers. Battery stickers. Battery stickers. Should be 2 sheets. Yeah, I got 2 sheets, there we go. Let's keep the battery stickers handy. Battery stickers most important, because some people are idiots and they don't understand where everything goes. Putting these in is always a get, because they've got so much static on them. There we are. There we go. Positive up. Doesn't help I'm doing it with my right hand either. My left hand either. And then soon it'll be ready for the moment of poof. That's what I like to call it anyway. It's the moment of poof, because it's the moment you're going to put the batteries in it. There we are. Let's glue the magnets in there. I'm not happy with all this crap that's got on here. It'll clean up and polish afterwards anyway. My mate that's having it said he'll polish the shit out of it anyway, but I will be polishing it, because things like that aren't polished and the button's not polished, and I always polish the button. So let's get the magnets, shall we? Let's get the magnets glued in, shall we? Magnets. Magnets. I'll show you a little trick with the magnets now. So what we're going to do with the magnets is we're going to do the ones in the door first. Where's my brush gone? There's my brush. But the door's full of fucking fluff from when I was drilling yesterday. So let's get rid of all the shit out of there. So yeah, I'm still here. I haven't gone off. I'm still alive. Right, lid. Get a bit of foam to put that on. I don't like putting it straight on the. I don't like putting it straight on the thing. You see, got a bit of foam here. Yeah, there's a bit of foam. I use the foam, you see, because it protects it. Use a bit of this foam. I use it for packing, so I use it for opening the packing up. So let's get that in here. First thing, right? So magnets. Many magnets. We're going to need 4 magnets. 4 magnets set off there. Put them over there for a minute. And then we're going to separate them. Because what we're going to do is, we're going to separate them. I'm going to put them there. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put one magnet there. Separate them one at a time. And somewhere, I've got my little flathead screwdriver, wherever it's fucking gone. Little red handled fucker. Oh, you bastard. Where are you? You were here a minute ago. I was using you. Do you know something? Things move in this house, I swear to God. Right, anyway, we shall use this one instead. Oh, there it is. Found it. It was on the floor next to my scissors. There we go. Everyone's still here, still alive, haven't fell asleep or anything. Just clearing the gunk out of the holes. Right, we're going to need a piece of plastic now or something. Or an old bit of box or something. Oh, that'll do. An old card for a SIM card, that'll do. Right. So what we're going to do now is we'll find out which side's which. So we do it by doing that. Yeah? I'm going to put a blob of super glue on the card. Now you don't need much, less is more with magnets, alright? You can use epoxy, but obviously epoxy takes time. But if we do this, you need a drop, and then we just shove it in like that. Like that. Get it level to the top. Jobs are good. Right, next. Let's go further on so you can see what's going on. Yeah. It's very bright, isn't it? The sun's changed. There we go. It's a bit better. You can see better now. And you see what we'll do then, you see, is once we know which side's which we do now, and again, blob in there and splodge. Quick wipe with your finger. Wipe it straight off, otherwise you end up with your finger stuck to a magnet. And the beauty about super glue is it pretty much sticks straight away. You can just push it that little bit extra bit, and that's in. Because it doesn't matter, they don't actually have to be touching. That's the beauty with magnets, they don't actually have to be touching. There we are. And while the super glue's still manky, you can still not quite gone off, you can just give the top of it, top of the magnets, just a little quick clean, just to make sure that all the gunk's off the plate, so it sits in the box. There we go. Magnets are installed in the door. Now comes the fun bit. Give it a minute to go off. Am I still live? Check I'm still live. So it sits in the box. There we go. You're still alive, just dead inside. In the valleys. Whose coat is that jacket? Whose trainers are them shoes? That's the way, innit? Oh, might pop. Quick vape while that goes off. Now, in the old days, here's an interesting fact. Not many people know this. Super glue is basically cyano glue, right? Yeah. Now, back in the old days, if you wanted your glue to go off quicker, because sometimes it doesn't always go off straight away. If you were a smoker and you blew the smoke from your cigarette onto the super glue, it would make it cure quicker. Chat on mobile is shit, isn't it? Never works. So once we've done the magnets, I shall put a shirt on because I'm sweating cobs, and we'll go over to the other camera, swap to the other camera, and then we'll have a vape on it and test it, make sure it works. If it doesn't work, we'll come back to this camera and we'll get the old soldering iron up on the go and see what the crack is and see why it's not working. Yeah, so that's what we'll do. So now what we're going to do is we're going to find out which magnet goes where now, because magnets have a north and south pole, remember. So we need to know which one's north and which one's south. So what we're going to do is going to get the magnets wherever they are, put them back in the tray. So I don't need all of them. They can go in there. We only need 4. And then what we're going to do now is find out which side fits to there. See that? Just drop the magnet on it, find out which goes where. Now, if you're not like me and a fully trained idiot, what you can do then is you'll put it on the right way around, like so, and you'll find out which one's which. And what you can do, if you're clever enough, is you'll do that, like that. Same on that side. See how they're just sat in there like that? We'll do 2 to start off with, otherwise it's going to get messy. So then we know that that's that one and that's that one, so it's stuck in there. Just put it roughly in. You don't want it all the way in. Just put it so half sticks out. Like so. Obviously you don't want it that far out. There we go. So we know now that that's that one and that one's that one. So what we can do now is get a bit of wire, or the flathead screwdriver we were using before, get a little bit of super glue off the board and just put it around the edge, just on the sides like that. Same on that one, spread a bit on. Like that. Put a bit around the edge, and you can push it down so it's flush. And that will now stick in. There you go. See how that's stuck in then? We'll do the same with the bottom now. Just to make sure it is the right one. And then put that in there. Do the same on this side. Go, in it goes. Wipe off the excess super glue. Now this one might not need any glue. There we go, stuck. It's flush and lush, baby, flush and lush. Right, there is some marks on it, but I'll polish them out. But there we go, all done with the magnets in and everything. So it's nice and flush, and it's lush. There we are. Right, 2 seconds, guy. We'll go over to the other camera and put some batteries in it, and we'll have a vape, shall we? Why the fuck not? Just got to find my top because I threw it off before because it was all steady. Where have I put the damn thing? Where did I put my t-shirt? Don't want to see naked top, James. It's not good. My moves are far too unexciting. There we go. Found it. There it is. Oops. Right, ignore all the fucking fingerprints and crap on it. Let's go over to the other table and we'll have a vape on it, shall we? Why the fuck not? Swap the cameras. Close up cam off. There we go. We're up here. We're back here. God, it's bright in here today. Makes a change. It's usually dull as hell. Right, let's get that on a smaller screen so I can see what everybody's doing. Make that smaller. Get the chat up on here so I can see the crack and the lack. There we go. Put that on a small one as well. Oh, okay, Jules. You still hear me all right? You still hear me okay, guys? Because the microphone's over there now. Hang on a sec. Let me mute the microphone and put the microphone back where it should be. Hang on. 2 seconds. There we go. Should be able to hear me again now, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome sauce. Put it on top chat. Switch to live chat. We still good? Error. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. What the fuck? Current keyframes are not. What keyframes? What's it on about? I don't know what it's on about. I don't know what keyframes are. It's moaning about keyframes, doesn't it? I don't know what that shit's about. Got no drop frames though, so yeah. Right, so I'll give it a polish after. But for now, I just want to make sure it's all working. So let's try it with it off first. I'm going to screw my Crown 4 with a 0.23 mesh coil on it. Take the batteries out of my G-Class. I think they're fully charged. Well, not far off anyway. But I think they're half charged, but it'll do for testing purposes. That works. So there we go, all working, and that's how we do it, ladies and gentlemen. Oosh. So I'll be vaping now that now for the next hour or so, because I like to vape them to make sure they're all right, and then it'll be polished. There's a few little things that need to be done now. I'll have to trim the box with the felt, and I like to be a little bit random. So what I like to do is I like to sort of like, if someone wants a different colour felt in the box, I'll cover it in the box, like, you know. So yeah. Can you see my napier? What? Napper. So there we go, all done. Oh, I'll probably catch up in a minute. But yeah, that's working. So thanks for watching, ladies and gents. So now I'm going to shoot. I'm going to vape on this for the next hour or so. But there you go. There is, for the people that have come in later on, there's the finished article. Give it a second to fucking focus. With the brass and everything on it. A very classy lassie. It's a classy lassie. So there we go. All done. No flames, no pops, no whistles. Nothing's getting hot. Jobs are good. So thanks for watching, guys, and I shall see you next time I do a live or a video. So take it easy for now. Toodle pips.